Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm here today to share a video which I've been meaning to share for probably about a month and a half. And I don't know why it's taken till now to get it done, but I trust in the timing of all these things, and so I trust that this is the perfect time to get this video to you. And it's an opportunity to look at the Mace method from a different angle than perhaps I've normally talked about it. Because I talk a lot about the fact it's so simple, it's so fast, it's so direct, it cleans out the very thing that's causing you problems. I just love it. I absolutely love it. And it's simple. Oh my God. And it teaches you so much in the process about being present, about only working with what's right here, right now, instead of going off into stories about other things. It teaches you how, yeah, our stories about ourselves are so, frankly, useless and not really worth the paper they're written on, apart from if we want to tell a nice story. Honestly, there is so much good stuff about this process. And there is this one particular angle that I really wanted to talk about, perhaps especially for people who've already had their foundation sessions. But if you've not had your foundation sessions, you might also be curious about this and want to hear the kind of the kind of effects that you get from this and why people do keep coming back for more and more sessions after their foundation process. So I'd like to start with you recognizing a situation when you felt entirely like yourself. So think about time with friends or with loved ones or with your beautiful cat or dog or other pet that you have that you love to spend time with. Perhaps it's in the garden, perhaps it's a sport, perhaps you go running, could be anything, literally anything. The key thing I want you to notice is to be recognizing this time when you felt like yourself. One of those times when afterwards you were like, oh, that was so good. That was so much fun. Or that, oh my God, that time went so fast. I was so enjoying it. Or, yeah, when you just felt like you could truly be yourself, like there was no self-consciousness, there was no second guessing, um, there was no checking of any kind. There was no like, how am I doing in relation to them? Just that pure flow of enjoyment of being yourself with whoever it was, doing whatever it was. Okay. And everybody's had an example of this. So I know you will have an example of this. So that experience you had, which sometimes gets called flow, sometimes just gets called being myself, is an experience of the real you being and doing and experiencing in life as a person. And when people have their foundation sessions, they dip in to, yes, the real them, but it's like that experience you've just hooked into and more. It's the greatest calm, relaxation, feeling at peace, feeling powerful and empowered to take action, pure and clean and clear. And the metaphor that always comes to me with this is that it's like you've taken this deep dive into a pool, into a swimming pool. Think of like the most beautiful crystalline blue water of the swimming pool. And with each session you have, it's like you're diving deep into this pool, diving deep in this big, cleansing, beautiful pool. Which is why so many people at the end of their foundation sessions say, it's like I'm cleaned out. It's like I've had this emotional spring clean. It's like something's gone. I don't know what it was, but something's gone and it feels so much better without it. It's that, oh my God, I hadn't realized I was carrying that and now it's cleaned out. oh my goodness, well, now I feel lighter, now I feel better, now I feel calmer, now I feel safer, now I feel actual self-love. And that's this deeping dive. That's this deep diving right down into the depths of who you are. Oh my God, it's amazing. And then, having had that deep dive and felt those depths by the end of your foundation process, you then go back into life and you experience your work and your family and your relationships and your jobs that need doing, and your money. You experience it all from this different perspective. And it's kind of like you've gone from the depths of the pool. And then as you come back into life and you're experiencing all these normal things again, it's like you're kind of coming back to the surface again from a completely different standpoint. But you are just coming back to the surface, back into normal experience. I just want to put a caveat on here. This is different for everybody. So for some people, it's just like straight back into normal life. Nothing seems to have changed, except I feel so much clarity, so much simplicity, so much obviousness, and I'm just off. For other people, there can be kind of this gradual, almost like a little bit of an energetic lull while they kind of come back into the world and come back into their experience and go, oh, okay, this is different, this is different. And so people generally will have a period of time where they really feel and see how they speak is different, how their acting is different, the things they're engaging in are different, opportunities are opening up that they hadn't seen before, they're having conversations they always thought they could never have. All these places where they start to really see these shifts, and it's like, oh my goodness, how did all that just happen? Because it seemed so impossible just 3 hours ago through that process. But anyway, they come back into life, they kind of come back up to the surface of the pool. And then, because most of us, not everybody, but most of us have more negative identities than get handled in the foundation process, you can kind of be going along in life, and then some of this negativity can start showing up again. These other negative identities that we haven't yet handled with the process can start to become apparent. Ones which usually have been hidden behind the ones we cleaned out in the foundation process. So this negativity can start to pop up. And often we don't notice it when it's little. We don't pay it much attention. It's like, it is like the boiling frog analogy, if you've heard of that, where the frog's in the water and the the cooker top gets turned on, and so the water gets warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer, and the frog doesn't realize. And so that by the time the frog does realize, the water has become too hot, and poor froggy doesn't do so well. Um, in this analogy, it's not quite as gruesome as that. Um, these little bits of negativity can come back in. I keep saying come back in. They're not, it's not the same negativity. Negativity that you hadn't been able to see or experience before becomes apparent. And so these little bits, little bits, little bits. And then once a negative identity has been activated, once it's popped, it doesn't just disappear. It gets louder and louder and louder and louder. That's why we say with this process, after you've had your Mace Method sessions, you have so much more capacity to consciously choose to not follow a negative thought. You have so much more capacity to consciously not entertain a negative feeling, so much more space to choose something that feels better. But if it's one of these negative identities, we can't just choose a different thought or feel a different feeling. Or if we try to, it won't actually solve it. It's like it might temporarily subdue it, but then it'll just be back again. Because these aren't solvable at this level of normal human experience. They're not solvable here at the surface of the pool. So if the negative identity has been activated, yes, you can dampen it down for a bit with going and doing something you enjoy. then it'll get activated again, and then you can dampen it down again with, I don't know, a nice walk or a hot bath or a cup of tea. But then if it's been activated, it's just going to shout again until it gets loud enough and painful enough, frankly, for you. When you get to the point of going, I don't like this, perfect. Because as you know from the foundation sessions, what we require for your foundation sessions is that there's something in your life that you don't like and that you want to change. So the minute you catch sight of one of these and it's gotten loud enough that you're like, I do not like this. I do not like these kind of thoughts. I do not like these kinds of feelings. I do not like these experiences in my life. It is time for another session. And so then you come for your next foundation, your next Mace Method session, and you get the chance to discreate that identity by diving deep into the pool of who you are, feeling in the absence of that identity, feeling the depths of the pool again, feeling that brilliance of who you really are again, feeling that, oh, that feels so like me. That's why we say welcome home. That feels so like me. Oh, that feels so good. And so you get to experience those depths of the pool again, feeling cleaned out from whatever that was that had got your attention on the surface. And then you leave your session and you come back into life, back to the surface, all the stuff to do, all the jobs to do, all the family to look after, blah, blah, blah. And you carry on. And again, you notice you've got different ways of talking, being, acting. You're taking action on things you weren't before. You're suggesting things you wouldn't have suggested before. You're laughing at things you wouldn't have laughed at before. You're enjoying things, receiving things that you could never have received before. And so you get your next opportunity to go, wow, look at this. How amazing. And then again, if some little negativity comes that you can feel isn't the real you, and now, having had more sessions, you get more discerning of this stuff as it starts going pop, pop, pop. The more you are tuned in, the more discerning you are, the more fine-tuned you are in your sensitivity, in the contrast of, well, I know what the depths of the pool feels like, and I know this is not the depths of the pool. And so you get quicker and faster and less tolerant of this stuff. And you're like, I want to deal with that. Great. Then you get your next session booked in and you're back in the depths of the pool again. Oh, God, this feels good. This feels so like me. Oh my God, I love this. Back into life. Any negativity that comes, back into the depths of the pool. Good. Even more of the real you. Even more groundedness in that truth of who you are. Even more discernment of anything that's not the real you. Even more capacity to choose to not engage with the negative and consciously choose something that feels better. And so it grows and it grows and it grows and it amplifies and amplifies and amplifies, all the while you being more and more of the real you, meaning that all of your life starts to mirror and reflect that back. More and more good stuff that feels so good for you. Just the kind of people you want to hang out with, just the kind of work you want to do, just the kind of money you want to receive, just the kind of relationship changes that you'd hoped for. Even if some of it's challenging, even if some of it feels like the ending of something that's been significant in your life, there's still this deep knowing of the perfection of it because you are so much more grounded in who you really are. And things start to fall away, things start to disappear, people start to disappear. And you know the perfection of it because you're so much grounded in those depths of that pool. And new things come in that you see are so perfect for you. And you feel it and you enjoy it because now you are so much more grounded in the feeling of the real you. And then that amplifies things even more. And then more and more of the real you and any little bits are more and more and more in contrast to that. You catch them even faster, you discreate them even faster, you get back into the depths of that pool even faster. It's just the most amazing experience to be part of. For you as the individual, I know it for me as the individual, and for me as the practitioner to be part of this with you, to be making this a reality for you. Oh my God. I want the world to experience this. I want everyone to know the depths of that pool. I want everybody to feel the beautiful, oh my God, this feels good at home experience of who they really are. Because my God, as that, we get lit up as human beings in this world. Our natural state, who we always have been, simply hidden by the negative identities that have been covering it over. So take that experience that you started this with, that time when you said, oh, I felt really like myself, and just consider that that experience can be amplified and amplified and amplified so that as you tip from that being the exception, that being the thing that I happen to experience when I'm with these people or doing that thing, the potential and the opportunity for that to tip into that being your norm, and that the exception becomes the little bits of negativity that you now notice as like, oh, that does not feel good. That does not feel like flow. That does not feel like me being myself. Amazing. You get to keep deleting that out of your world. You get to keep discreating those negative identities out of your world so that you keep amplifying more and more experiences of you being yourself. Who doesn't want more of that? I'm right here, ready to work with you. I work best, my best match clients are high achieving. They're like I was, like I am. I'm still high achieving. I still love achieving. I still love doing amazing work, working hard, delivering for clients. None of that has ever changed through this process. It's just got more and more me shaped. And by becoming more and more me shaped, it has shown me that my best match, I can't say the words, my best match clients are also high achievers. They're dynamic, they love to make moves fast, they love to make a positive difference in the world, whatever line of work they're in. Although lots of them are entrepreneurs, they're leaders in business, they're leaders in their field. Some reason, many of them are tech leaders, but not all. The key thing that I've seen is this high achieving, dynamic, at the very least, an entrepreneurial mindset, even if they're not officially titled entrepreneur. They've got that dynamism, they've got that leading edge attitude, they've got that courage. They catch sight of opportunities early and they say, yes, I'm in for this. That's the kind of person who's a really good match for me. And by being a good match for me, we get amazing results together. So if that's you, I really look forward to meeting you. If it's not, but you love the sound of what I've shared in this video, then there is a plethora of practitioners around the world. And I'll drop the link for that main directory in here as well. Thank you for watching. Click subscribe, click the bell if you want to be kept updated with when the next video releases. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.